So tell me, how can I serve the devotees there in London? What's the news?
We have a question from Anonymous.
Okay. We don't know who Anonymous is, huh?
Yeah, we do, but they'd rather be anonymous.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so the question is, do we have a duty to our devotee friends to give honest advice if we think they are fooling themselves? Or is this an example of wanting to be a guru?
Well, one thing that Srila Maharaj said, he said, speak the truth that does not cause harm. And I think that's very important. Speak the truth that does not cause harm. You know, if somebody says, what is your real opinion of me? And say you don't like that person. You're not going to say, I don't like you and I think you're horrible and this and that. I would not say that. Why? They don't want to hear that. That may be the truth. That may be your opinion, but you don't have the right to cause some pain to somebody else. You have no right to cause them pain unnecessarily. And that means that sometimes you don't always speak the truth. And then somebody says, does that mean you lie? No, I'm not saying you lie. I'm not giving to telling lies unless it were necessary. But generally, no, doesn't mean you lie. It just means you don't speak the truth that will cause pain and harm to other people. And then Guru Maharaj said, oh, that means, then somebody can say, that means that there's something higher than the truth. And he said, yes, mercy and love and affection. Those are higher things than the truth. The truth may be just like justice. It might be something maybe important to some people who don't have any justice, but that's not the highest value. Higher than that is beauty, love, charm, mercy, ecstasy. All these things are above the truth. The truth is, so I'm not, if your friend, you say, well, should we say something to somebody, to a devotee, or is that wanting to be a guru? No, it's a mistake. It may be a mistake if you think it's really necessary. But generally, we are told not to criticize others. We are told that we can only change ourselves. We cannot change others. So we are generally not trying to criticize other people. If you may say, well, it's constructive criticism, but maybe it won't be well taken by you. Maybe it won't be well received by you. And maybe you can only change yourself. You can't change others. So would I advise being like a quote guru and saying these things to others? I'd say, no, I would not advise that. That would not be my advice. To correct other people, you're doing this wrong and you're doing this wrong, and you know nobody likes you because of this. Why should you say that? You don't have a duty to say those things. Why should you speak like that? Who appointed you the counselor of the whole world? Now, there's one other point of view, though. One time a man came to see me in Mexico, and as the conversation started out, as sometimes at that time the Pope was in Mexico. So I said, or was coming to Mexico, and I said, well, I hear the Pope is coming to Mexico. And this man says, he said, you know what God calls the Pope? And I said, no. And he said, dragon, like this. And he started saying things. So then I understood this man's not Catholic. And he wasn't. He was an evangelical. And he's an evangelist. I didn't take him into the temple to see the deities or anything like that. I just had a conversation with him. And we talked because, I mean, some points we have in common with the Catholics, that we can honor the saints and we worship the saints. And some things we may have in common with the evangelist? What is that? Well, Guru Maharaj said, I'm a form breaker. I'm not a form maker. So we're not always interested in the formal form. Like maybe the Catholics, they worship the saints and everything, but maybe they also worship a lot of form. Maybe the evangelists don't have a guru, but maybe also the evangelists are against form and ritual. So then I'm listening to the man and I'm talking with him. And then I just said one thing. I said, well, so many of the things you say are so negative. I said, I've seen in the Catholic churches, there's some sincere people who go there to worship every week and they're praying, and I cannot say they're insincere. So why do you speak so negatively? Then the man said, well, if I see somebody who's running towards a cliff and they're about to run off the side of the cliff, don't I have the responsibility to say something? Don't I have the responsibility to shout, stop where you're running, you'll fall, there's danger. I said, then I told him, all right, if that's really the way you see it, then yes, okay, I can accept what you're saying. That then if you see somebody is about to run off the side of a cliff, of course you'll shout, stop, there's danger. So I said, I didn't, so that way he justified a little bit some of his actions, and I could say, okay, if that's your point of view, I can accept something of that. But I don't accept so he may say something that he thinks that the person is in mortal or eternal danger of damnation or something. So, okay, if you want to say, under those things, you feel the responsibility to say something. Okay, but I still said, I told him, I don't see any reason for so much negativity. But if you think that you have to say something to save somebody from falling into danger, okay. So I don't know what is the attitude of between Anonymous and the friend that he or she wants to say something about her or him, whatever anonymity is referring to. But So, but normally I would be a little bit cautious about, as Guru Maharaj says, speak the truth that doesn't cause harm. And as I explained, there is something higher than the truth. If speaking the truth about somebody is going to cause them great harm, you may say something that you're like this and you're like that, and then the person goes and kills themselves. So how are you going to feel about that? How will you feel about speaking the truth under the circumstances where the person cannot bear hearing the truth, that it causes them irreparable damage? Will you be okay with that? Are you okay with that? You're okay that you cause so much bad feelings from the person that the person couldn't relate with you ever again, or couldn't bear to relate with them, deal with themselves? I mean, I'm talking about extreme examples, and maybe you're just talking about telling them that you don't like their new hat. I don't know. But I'm saying maybe you want to speak, maybe you don't want to become a guru and talk to people like that. Since you put out the words, or is it wanting to become a guru? I think Guru Maharaj also said, correct yourself. Don't try and correct others. So tell me, is what I'm saying, is it okay, or am I being a little too radical?
No, Maharaj, that's perfect advice.
Well, what do you think? Labanyamoyi, you have to deal with people. Sometimes you have to tell them to sit down and shut up. What do you think?
Well, I think the question was, he saw that maybe someone in their practice was making a mistake, or going in a wrong direction. He was thinking, can I say to them, you're doing something wrong, it's not going to get you in the, so it seemed more like he wanted to give some kindly advice.
Okay, if it can be done kindly. kindly advice. We're always didati prati grinati. We're always taking advice, giving advice, things like that. But our relationship of taking and giving advice is supposed to be that the person from the higher plane is giving some mercy back to the person from the lower plane. And generally, one thing I'm saying is, I just a principle that I don't always follow, but don't give advice unless people ask for it.
It's supposed to be inauspicious if someone gives you advice, isn't it? If you haven't.
What?
It's meant to be inauspicious if someone gives you advice that you didn't.
Not inauspicious if somebody asked you for advice.
Yeah, that's different.
That's what I'm saying. Generally, I would think give advice to somebody who asks for it. But you know, if somebody doesn't ask you, if somebody says, "Oh, today's my birthday and I bought two bottles of whiskey and I intend to drink them both," then maybe you would say, "I don't think that's a very good idea." I mean, they didn't ask you for their advice.
If you saw a devotee, maybe it seems like it's saying a devotee, their practices, they're maybe going in the wrong direction, then you would want to, you'd be concerned for them.
Yeah, and I would probably say something, because why? First of all, I don't even follow always my own advice. So maybe I'd say something to them. I'm supposed to be a little cautious. I'm supposed to be a little soft-spoken, but I'm not always that way.
You can say to someone because you're a guru, but maybe
Yeah.
they won't take it from someone else.
Maybe I'm not so cautious and soft-spoken. Maybe that's why. And maybe people will find that out when we get to India. Anyway, enough about that. Oh, there's Rasaraj. There's also Ananta Govinda.
Dandava Maharaj, Dandava devotees.
And Bhagavan.
I do have a question.
Gaurachandran Falguni.
Dandava Maharaj.
And Saraswati in the north, not as far north as Tungarasa, but maybe. Because she's in Norway. Norway must be more north than Sweden.
But I think I did write the question down.
And then Ragamoyi. Oh, Ragamoyi in the East London Temple. How are you?
Nandavat Gurudev, I'm okay.
And how is Sudevi?
Yeah, she's fine.
How old is she?
She's 3 years, 2 months.
No, how old is she? How old is Sudevi?
3 years, 2 months. She
Not 2 months.
2 years, 2 months.
3 years, 2 months.
Oh, 3 years and 2 months. Okay. 3 years and 2 months. And can she speak in Bengali?
Yes, most of the time I talk Bengali.
And she can speak Bengali? Can she speak Bengali and English?
Yeah, she can talk Bengali, English. Bengali, most of the time I talk Bengali.
But can she also speak English?
Yeah, she replies sometimes English as well.
Mommy,
Okay.
do you have Bengali? Mommy.
Yeah, you want to say hello to Gurudev?
Are you good?
Good. How are you? How are you, Sudevi? How are you, Sudevi? Oh, Sudevi's very, very, very nice. Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. I will see you. I'm going to India when I come back, or maybe before. I'll see you, Sudevi.
See you soon. We were on a there. We were here. My mama phone.
Okay.
Mama
I
She talks.
I won't understand her answer, but Baloache.
Guludai. Gulip.
Sudevi Baloache. Am I saying that right?
No.
No?
No. I want it. I want it.
Because you don't say balo, you don't say balo. Okay, all right.
See you soon.
Okay. And who's that? Ananda? Let's see, who is this? Ananda Swarupini. Where's Ananda Swarupini?
Maharaj.
Where are you?
I'm in the temple, just in the kitchen.
Okay. In
In
West
London. So I'll see you next week.
Okay, sure. Next Tuesday. I'll only be there for a few days. I'm leaving on, what is it? I'm leaving on Thursday for India. And I get there, well, it is only a few days. I get there, but I'm leaving Thursday a little later. I get there Tuesday. Well, when I come back, I'll be there for a while. I hope I don't come back. Well, I just come back anyway. And Radha Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam Maharaj. My name is Kamala Kanti. He's from East London.
Shamalakanti.
Kamalakanti. Your Shishya, Maharaj.
Okay, Kamalakanti.
Dandavat Pranam Maharaj.
Dandavad. That's very nice. Very nice. I will see all of you soon. There's Shama Malini also. She always has nice pictures of the deities. Is that Radhasham Sundar? Huh? Devashish.
I'm looking, Maharaj. Yeah, yes, it is, Maharaj, yes.
Looking so nice. Let's see. Want to see.
It's from Ram Nomi.
Oh, really? Really super beautiful. Huh? Okay, now. Okay. Well, so no Krishna Mohini today, huh?
Yes, she's there, Maharaj.
Well, she's here. I don't see her. Where?
It says iPad to
Yes,
Krishna.
Maharaj, I am here, Maharaj.
Okay, iPad de Krishna. Oh, and where is Mahamantra? ¿Dónde está Mahamantra?
He's working in the room.
¿Puedo
Está
hablar
trabajando en su cuarto, en la computadora.
¿Es posible hablar con él un momentito? Huh?
Sí, puedo preguntarle. Déjame ver, un momento, Maharaj.
You're talking a little bit about going to India yourself, Maharaj, and how you feel about it.
¿A mantra?
I feel like
¿Mantra?
I feel like nobody went to India for 2 or 3 years because of the pandemic, because of all the COVID, and now we have to go to India. You can't just leave India by itself. It will become worse. We have to give some attention to India. That's what I feel. So I'm going with Ashram Maharaj and Puri Maharaj and others. And who was that called me during the phone call? What was that person's name? You remember? From South Africa.
Something Sindhu.
Prema Sindhu.
Prema Sindhu. Is that the Prema? There's a Prema Sindhu who ran this Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat site. There was somebody who ran the Sri.
That was a German Prema Sindhu.
Hey, Mahamantra.
Dandavad, Maharaj.
Dandavad.
Dandavad, Maharaj.
Dandavad. So you're working on the books, right?
Chinmoy Prabhu wrote to me, and I still need to have a catch up with him about some details, and I can start working on the books gradually, Maharaj. I will try to help.
Pero yo escuché que estás trabajando con Upadeshamrita, ¿no? De ponerlo en línea, ¿es cierto?
No. Ayudé a que se publicara online, y ahorita estoy en comunicaciones con Chinmoy para poder ayudar con sermones, que es el libro que ya el draft, el texto está todo revisado.
Híjole, estás comenzando a tener el sonido de un español. Tu acento está cambiando a acento de un español. Pero mira, lo que yo pensaba es que es posible de poner los libros hechos para publicar usando nada más scans. Es necesario poner todo en la forma de palabra por palabra, párrafo por párrafo, página por página, o se puede hacer en la forma de scan. Se puede poner libros en Amazon por nada más hacer scans de las páginas, y después de hacer la página más reducido o más largo de acuerdo a los parámetros que dice Amazon. ¿Es posible hacerlo así o tiene que poner todo en la forma de un formato hecho a mano por todo el texto? ¿Qué crees?
Yo creo que sinceramente lo mejor es hacer el format otra vez. Por temas de calidad es indispensable. No es que no se podría hacer, sí, es una posibilidad, pero no se puede comparar en lo absoluto a volver a formatear el libro a un tamaño específico.
Pero yo sé que no se puede comparar, pero lo que tenemos como meta es tener 40 o 50 libros en línea disponibles a los devotos. Y si tenemos que hacer cada libro, palabra por palabra, línea por línea, no podemos nunca llegar a la meta de tener 50 50 libros porque vamos a morir mucho antes que logramos esa meta. Es muy tardado de hacerlo todo a mano. No se puede hacerlo más rápido por hacer scans. Quizás no con algunos libros muy importantes, pero por ejemplo en India ellos hicieron la búsqueda de Sri Krishna. No la búsqueda de Sri Krishna. La búsqueda amorosa del Señor para su serviente perdido. Ese libro ellos hicieron scans y salió muy bonito. Incluso lo hicieron por capa dura, ¿no? Sí. Entonces, bueno, cuando estamos en cuando estoy en Inglaterra, me gustaría hablar contigo, que, bueno, tú no vas a estar en Inglaterra, pero podemos hablar con calma. Pero a mí me gustaría tener todos los libros disponibles. Pero tenemos que ver cómo lo podríamos lograr. Pero tú estás trabajando con eso, es muy valioso. Okay, I'm going to go back to English now.
No comenzado, Carlos.
See. Okay, I'm going back to English. I was just talking to him about book production, and I'm thinking about not just book production in Spanish, but he's working on book production also, and he did something in English, you know. So, and why is this important? Because I'm not just interested what's up on, you know, on Amazon. On Amazon, you don't sell many books. It's just a few books here, a few books there. That's not very important. But they if you have books done with Amazon, they allow you to print up to, I think, 900 copies at what they call author's prices, and then you can distribute them to other people. So if we have Guru Maharaj and Govinda Maharaj and Acharya Maharaj's books available, and the books of the Acharyas, of course, if we have them available, what kind of a great, how good that will be for everybody to be able to get, you know. And this way you can do like this. Somebody can say, I want 5 of this book and 2 of that book and 3 of that book and 2 of this book. And you can get them within a few weeks. They'll print them and send them to you. And you don't have to print 1,000 books. All you need, they can print 1 book. They can print 2 books, and they're all at reasonable prices. And then they have the library. We're putting the books in the bookstore and the library. That's all done by them. It's called books on demand. It's a very good way of printing. Anyway, this is some kind of dream, but like I was talking to Mahamantra, and he's still here, but the only problem is when you have to do it, each book, because you have to, what the problem becomes is the book has to fit the size, a standard size that they have, you know, and not every book we have is in the standard size. So if they're not in that standard size, they have to be reformatted to fit in that size. And that's the best way, but it takes months. It can take months, maybe take a month to get all the pictures and all the text and everything all reformatted to the size of the book. But if we could have devotees all over the world working on this, and they knew how to work within, they knew how to format books and stuff. They knew about, you know, things like, you know, all the things like that you need to know, like how to work in InDesign or Photoshop or Quark Express and all that. If people can do that, that would be very good. And we could have the books available. And then people will ask us, can I have this book? We can say, yes, it'll take 2 or 3 weeks and I'll have that book. Don't have to print 5,000 or 2,000. How many books do you have in London just sitting there?
A lot.
A lot. So this way, You know, the whole idea, modern idea is not to have too many things in storage, but to just have a current stock going and coming, going, you know, like that. And that, anyway. I remember someone came to Mexico once and I met him, and he produced martial arts and he distributed them. And I said, when you print a book, how many do you print? He said, one. I said, one? What are you talking about? He said, yes, one book. If I ask for one book, they send me one book. If I have for 3 books, they send me 3 books. You don't have to print 1,000 books. That is the way to do things, I think. But, you know, I'm very opinionated. I don't, maybe people don't agree with me, but the prices were pretty good too. But all right. Any more questions? I heard one question from Anonymous. I don't know if we answered it so good, but okay. Any more anonymous questions? Gaurachandra, you and Falguni always ask some question. No questions today?
How do you arrange that book on demand? Where do I get the information to learn how it's done?
Okay, I'll talk to you about it when I'm there.
Okay, excellent, super.
Yeah. But in order to do it, you have to have permission, of course. If you're going to print books by, what's that famous writer in Colombia, Garcia Marquez? Huh?
Gabriel Garcia Marquez.
Okay. Well, if you're going to print his books, I think you need his permission to do it. So if you're going to print any books, you have to have permission from the author. Anyway, that's another story. Any other questions?
Yes, Maharaj. Can you talk a little bit about Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj?
Oh, maybe not so much, but I can say something. Well, on the second day of Parikrama, when we were in Navadip, the second day of Parikrama goes first to Vridashi Mandir, then to Paramatala, then goes to Vishnu Priya Bari, where Vishnu Priya is worshiping the Murti or the deity of Mahaprabhu. And then the last stop is the Samadhi of Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. And all I can say is something that everybody has already heard, because the reason everyone's heard is because we don't have so much knowledge about Jagannath Das Babaji. Just that he was living, he was very close with Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And Bhakti Vinod Thakur used to consult with Jagannath Das Babaji. And actually, one of the temples we'll be visiting in India is called Tarakeshwar. And I believe in Tarakeshwar, there's a famous Shiva Mandir there. And Bhakti Vinod Thakur was, when he went there, he had some communication, I guess, from Lord Shiva, told him, don't go to Vrindavan. He was going to go to Vrindavan and live. And he told him, don't go to Vrindavan. And more or less discover the place of Mahaprabhu and everything like that. Anyway, I don't know that story so well because I didn't read it. I just heard about it from people who have read. or heard from maybe Acharya Maharaj when they went to Tarkeshwar. But anyway, Bhakti Vinod Thakur and Jagannath Das Babaji, they were very closely talking, and Bhakti Vinod Thakur was searching out the place of Mahaprabhu's divine appearance, the Yoga Pit. And then there's, okay, I'm seeing the big eyes from Karuna Sindhu's son, whose name is Amal Krishna, is it?
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay. And how old is he?
Dhanavats Maharaj.
Is he 2 or 3?
He's 1.5 Maharaj.
Oh, he's big.
Yeah, he's very big. He keeps
Okay.
touching the screen right now.
Yeah, that I saw. So I'll go back to talking about Jagannath Das Babaji. How are you, Karun?
Yeah, I'm good, Maharaj. How are you?
Good. I'll see you
How are you
soon.
then?
I'll see you soon. So
Yes,
anyway,
Maharaj, I'll see you too.
okay. So Jagannath Das Babaji is in consultation with Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and Bhakti Vinod Thakur is when he was searching maps and was going to find the place of Mahaprabhu's divine appearance, and he took Jagannath Das Babaji with him. So that we know Jagannath Das Babaji was very old, maybe 115 years old. They carried him in a basket. When he got to that place, he jumped and started dancing. That, I'm not, what can I say? I need to, in order to speak more about Jagannath Das Babaji, I would have to be able to read something about him, but I haven't read so much about Jagannath Das Babaji. But I've been there to his Samadhi Mandir, and we know that he was very much involved when Bhakti Vinod Thakur was discovering the place of Mahaprabhu's divine appearance. And then other things, I've just heard stories, and I don't like to just repeat stories. If I knew something more factual, something more than I had read, then I could tell you. But unfortunately, I'm a little ignorant about Jagannath Das Babaji. I don't know too much about him.
Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Okay. Yeah. Any more anonymous questions? No.
No.
No. So when I get there Tuesday, will you be able to visit or not till Wednesday?
Yeah, I'll meet you at the airport, Maharaj.
Oh, great. Very good. So maybe this time I'll go to Ireland. Maybe next time we're talking about August also, right? We're talking about August also.
Yeah.
So maybe then can see about Spain or something. Since I don't really know, my Spanish is not so perfect. Maybe if I go to Spain, I can learn to speak Spanish better. Yeah. Maybe if I go to Barcelona, would be better. Maybe I could learn in Barcelona.
You have now a nice place here, Maharaj, to stay in Madrid.
Well, I didn't give any classes in the morning the last couple of days. Everything is becoming very hectic, working till late at night and then talking in the morning and on the telephone and stuff. So we're also talking, let me get the dates. People were asking about the Govinda Mela, so I have the dates. Yeah. So.
Sexuality is, I was asking, please bring this in.
Anyway, this was given to me by Shapriya. It's a little nebulous, but basically the Govinda Mela from the 19th of July till the 26th of July. 19th of July, it says Govinda Mela, arrival of the devotees, 19th and 20th. Then the 21st, 22nd, 23rd is Ekadasi here, and 24th, I guess, Govinda Mela. But is it really Ekadasi? Let me check that. 25th and 26th. So 19th to the 26th. I thought it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, it's 8 days. 19, 20, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 8 days. Now, a couple of those days are for arriving and for leaving. And 2 days later, 28th, is the disappearance program for Srila Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj's disappearance is on the 28th of July. Let me just check one thing here. I want to just check. Anyway, it doesn't matter when the Ekadasi is, because it's from the 19th to the 26th of July. So anyone who wants to come to Govinda Mela, they can come and inform us and everything. We'll meet you, pick you up, bring you. And that Amal Krishna sticking his head in the camera.
No. No.
All right. Any other questions? See, there we have Amal Krishna, we have Sudevi. Any other small children? Oh, we saw Subhadra too. I also saw Subhadra. But she's not so small. She's big now. How old is Subhadra? ¿Cuántos años tiene?
He's still young. So 7.
Subhadra.
Va para 7 en agosto. Tiene 6.
6.
Estuve bien.
Sometimes they tell them when they're young, do this, and then they go, no. And they say, oh, she or he is very shy. Yeah, maybe so, but they also don't want to listen. If you tell them something, they don't want to listen to you. Right.
Yes.
That's a very good quality to not listen and not obey. Sometimes we would be much better off if we also had something of that quality. Not obeying. You should obey. No, why should I obey? Look, you don't want to say that to your father or mother, of course, although we do.
We just had another late arrival question from Anonymous, Maharaj.
Yeah.
And that is, how do we see if something is the will of the Lord or the will of our own karma?
I don't know. I'm not in terms of results. I don't really know how to say what's the will of the Lord. I can sometimes understand what's the will of karma. I'm just getting my, I mean, even Govinda Maharaj said that to Siddhanti Maharaj. He said, Maharaj, we're all getting our karma fall. We're all getting the reactions of our activities. I don't know what is the will of the Lord. I'm not that high, pure devotee that I can tell what is the will of the Lord, but I can certainly distinguish when I'm getting my karma, and sometimes very well deserved. So I'm just getting the results from my karma. Yeah, that I can understand. What is the divine will of the Lord, man? I said something about that. If you're in China, you can't get YouTube, you can't get Facebook, you can't get this, you can't get that. Why? They're all blocked. So how will you be able to know what is the will of the Lord when your own mind and your own ego and your own misused intelligence, they're all blocking you. You can't hear what, we know that there's Guru and then there's Chaitya Guru, but how much instructions are we getting from Chaitya Guru? Can anybody even hear Chaitya Guru? Well, something must be working because we're all here, but I cannot say that I'm actively like I have a hot line to divinity. I can't say that. I have a connection with divinity through Guru Maharaj, Govinda Maharaj, and our divine preceptors. Okay, I have some connection with divinity. And I'm getting mercy in that way. But how will I say? Maybe if Anonymous can distinguish what is the will of the Lord, then okay. Well, what's part of the question was, how can we distinguish between the will of the Lord and our own karma?
Yeah.
Maybe I can understand the will of the Lord through Gurudev and through the scriptures, but it's hard to know with all certainty what is the will of the Lord when I'm in the midst of a big karma merry-go-round. I'm caught on the wheel of, what do they call it? The wheel of some, I'm caught on the wheel of, I'm on the wheel of samsara going up and down. How will I be able to tell what is the will of the Lord? You can't always distinguish divinity. Can't always distinguish divinity. Maybe we don't always have that perception. If we did, then maybe we'd be better off. I don't know. This is what we're speaking now. Is I'm speaking onto this small computer that I'll be traveling with. Does it seem all right?
Yeah. Good.
Good. All right. Does anyone have any suggestions when we get there? I'll come back also longer, but do you have any suggestions? Is Dayanidhi around?
Yeah. He's around.
Do you see him sometimes? Does he do kirtans?
Yeah. When he can get there on time. But every other Saturday he goes out with the devotees in the evening.
He goes on Harinam?
Yeah.
I mean, he's such a good kirtan leader. It must be, it's very ecstatic to do Harinam with him, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you think? Lavanya, is it very ecstatic?
Yeah, when he's not, I've only ever been on one Harinam when he wasn't there in Ananda. And he, it was definitely, there was a big gap because he dances and plays mridanga and sings. And he
he's wonderful.
So
He's
much,
really,
and he sings beautifully. Yeah.
he's very wonderful.
Yeah, yeah.
If he comes, if we get Dayanidhi to lead Harinam, will you go on it? Gaurachandra, Falguni, you'll go on it?
To where, Maharaj?
On Harinam.
Si Dayanidhi tiene un Harinam en Londres, ustedes van en ella?
¿Quién es Dayanidhi? Who is that? Who is Dayanidhi?
No, no conocen a Dayanidhi. Él es de las islas en el Caribe, cerca de, no, hay Venezuela, hay Jamaica, hay otros islas. What is the one, what's the island he's from?
República Dominicana.
Dominica.
Creo que es el Maharaj.
Huh?
No, Dominica.
Dominica. Okay. It's from Dominica. I don't think he speaks Spanish, right? He doesn't speak Spanish.
No, they speak French patois there.
Okay. But you probably see him.
Yes, I remember him. He looks like an Afro-American, and he's very tall, and he plays Nirvana very nice, and he chants very nice, no?
Oh yeah, he's ecstatic.
Yes, I know him. I mean, I don't know him, but I know who he is.
So when he comes, maybe we'll have some Harinam at least one day in London, and everybody can go in Harinam, right? You come with us?
Wherever you go, I'll try to be for sure.
Falguni, you go also? Duvas?
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay. We can all go and then bring maybe 30 people back to your restaurant.
Yeah, that's a wonderful plan.
Where is your restaurant?
Very far from the center, and we are like in North London. It's very, far from everything, to be sincere.
I get a message here because I'm running my Mac on battery because I put in a new battery, and he said, let the battery go down to zero and then plug it in again and then charge it up and then let it run down to zero. Do that 4 or 5 times. So it's going to run down to zero pretty soon. So, and that when that happens, you can consider that this Zoom meeting will either be ending or I'll have to plug in the power. I'm inclined towards the former, that maybe the Zoom meeting will be ending.
Yes.
Mahamantra, you can't come to London, huh? No, you're stuck in Spain.
Oh.
Actually, Maharaj, I was, they were calling me from the company I was working while I was there to go, and the final details of payment and dates were delaying. So anyhow, I was planning to go just to speak with them in person, to at least for a month to be there and also do some service, but that will be delayed now because somehow my ID card disappeared.
Bueno, yo estoy en Londres desde el 18 de mayo hasta el 30 de mayo. Y quizás puede aparecer.
Yes, Maharaj. I heard.
Bueno, quizás descubre dónde está tu tarjeta y puede ser, no sé.
Ojalá, Maharaj. Ya busqué muy bien y no está, pero vamos a ver. Ya estoy en el proceso de aplicación de una nueva para tratar
Bueno,
de acelerar el
entonces,
paso.
ok.
Pero no sé si ya tan pronto.
Pero decimos ojalá. Eso significa si Allah desea. Si Allah desea hacer.
You felt that?
Yeah.
Inside? You will get it.
Okay. If Allah desires, then it will happen. All right. Because in Spanish they say ojalá, which means hopefully. Hopefully. But I think it really means also ojalá refers to Allah. If Allah so desires, it can happen, right?
Yes.
Isn't it? Gaurachandra, doesn't it mean like that? Ojalá. If Allah so desires, then it may happen. There's so much.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly how they came up with the word.
Yeah, because so much of Spanish also comes from the influence of the Muslims coming to Spain. All of a sudden,
Moors, yeah.
The Moors.
Mira,
When they
you are absolutely right. I just found it out, and it's coming from Arabic inshallah, which is God willing. You are absolutely right. I never thought about it.
Okay,
You're
see,
right.
it's coming from the Muslims who got into Spain. All right.
So what would you say now, Krishna La?
Yeah.
Oh.
Krishna.
Krishna La.
If Krishna so desires.
Yeah. Oh, very good to learn that. Thank you.
Your Mac will sleep soon unless plugged into a power outlet. I wonder, let me see how much percentage I have left. Let me see. Oh, I have 6%. Come on, I still have 6%. It's not as bad as you're saying.
Maharaj, maybe I have a suggestion. Maybe when you come, of course, the Harinam will be amazing, and some programs in the temples. Maybe we can take you also to a botanical garden.
Yeah,
with the devotees.
Of course. Nice. Will everyone have to pay a lot of money to get into it?
Well, let's see.
Okay, we can go. And of course, we also have the famous, what do they call it? Something lakes, the Victoria Lakes or something?
Virginia waters.
No.
Virginia water.
What are they called? Brazilian water.
Virginia.
Oh, Virginia waters.
Yeah.
Virginia waters. Okay. Yeah, we can go to the Virginia waters. And they have some nice places right near West London too, where we would walk. Very close. Maybe when I come back, maybe I'll see Leela Sundar and Krishna Bandhu and their families when they come, and Anjali when they come from Bournemouth.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. I think it will be nice if we surprise Nitai's father, Malaharina, because he really, really, really loves you so much, and Mahadevi, and he's just unable to join the Zooms. They're not very technical, so they're always missing it. And he had actually lots of health problems. He got a leg amputated,
but
because of his condition. He got one leg amputated.
Really?
Yeah.
One leg amputated because of diabetes?
I think so, yes.
Uh-oh. I also have that, so I hope they don't cut. I wasn't thinking about legs. I thought, oh,
no, he had other condition.
Yeah, he had elephantitis.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe we can see him. Maybe we can go see him.
Yeah.
Where's he live? He lives near London?
Yeah, near to East London Mott.
Okay, maybe we can go see him one day too.
Yeah, and also Ratna's mom.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Ratnavali, I would really much want to go visit there. And is her mother still conscious? I mean, you can talk to her mother.
You can talk to her, but she doesn't really respond much.
Oh, she's very old now, huh?
Yeah, she's pretty much, you know, like non-communicative, but she's there. Sometimes she's there.
Okay, that's okay. I went through that with my mother too, when my mother got really old. And when my mother was really old, I'd call her up and I'd speak to her and she wouldn't say a word. I could just hear her breathing.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah, can't wait for that.
Yeah, can't wait. They'll say, can we wash your back? Blink once if yes and two if no. Blink once if okay and two if no. All right. Yeah. Really looking forward to that.
You're very funny, Maharaj, but I have to say that you're very brave because you're now 77 years old and you're going to India just to fight for the mission. That's kind of really, really brave and amazing.
Maybe I don't know where bravery starts and foolishness or dumbness begins.
Well, I think to everyone it's very clear.
Well, they say in Mexico, they say mejor que dicen que aquí Juan corrió que aquí Juan se cayó. So sometimes you have to be a little smarter. I don't know.